how has this bowl prep been for the defense? And you feel like you've accomplished, or what do you feel like you have accomplished during these last 2 or 3 weeks?
It's been good. You get the young guys some work. That's kind of the advantage of bowl practices. You get some young guys some work. You get a good look at guys like Yanni and some of those freshmen. But this one's a little different because who you're playing, right? So the pace of the game is going to be the real key, right? They play at warp speed. This will be the fastest team that we've played. We played him a couple of years ago when he was at Central Florida, and so the kids they don't understand how fast it's going to be. It's kind of like playing Navy or Army until they really get in the first drive. You don't really feel it until you get in that first drive. So that's been our prep is the pace of the game. So our offense has helped us out. Our scout team has helped us out. So that's been the biggest thing for us prepping wise is the speed of this game and how fast it's going to happen. And they're a pretty talented group, so they can get away from you quickly.
Faster than Ohio State?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that.
Faster as far as tempo.
Correct.
Okay.
And speed. They got good speed at wideout. I think, personally, Ohio State's probably got the, maybe not the best three, but they're pretty short list, the guys at Ohio State. But these guys are big and can run, and when you watch them on film, they got loose on Kentucky a bunch, and they big play you, and that's kind of their deal. Is they go fast, get you out of position, and all of a sudden you give up a big play. The explosives is the issue with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what type of drills and stuff are you doing to try to simulate it? You said the offense is trying to help you
They
out,
do,
but
because we go against our offense. So, I talk to coach, and hey, look, we need a period where we go as fast as we can go, and so he's doing that for us. We'll stress them from the standpoint of we won't let them see the formation till the last second, so they got to turn around, see the formation, get lined up, because that's the whole issue is the pace of it. Getting lined up is the real key. So you're doing different things like that to try to prepare.
So you were the head coach at Charlotte when you played UCF.
No, I was at Marshall.
At Marshall.
Yes.
So how'd you guys do against them?
Oh, I don't know what the final was. They beat us in the Gasparilla Bowl.
Okay.
But the kids, the one thing the guys did at Marshall, they really did a nice job getting lined up, ready to play. They were pretty good. They come off of a pretty big year the year before, and they were pretty fast. Dylan Gabriel, who just left there, went to UCLA, so they had a good run there at Central Florida, and Josh did a really good job there, and obviously got the Tennessee job. And he's taken their offense to Tennessee and playing with that pace. And you see them get behind Alabama. You see them get behind Georgia. They had a couple plays against Georgia that guy just overthrew it down the field, or it's going to be a touchdown. So we got to be on point, for this game, and the kids. But that's been the biggest thing for us is understanding how fast it's going to happen.
Right. How do you call the game? Knowing you don't have George. And maybe some other pieces there to make sure that you guys are still playing the way that you want to play.
Yeah, it's we might have to generate a little more pressure because we leaned on George all year for sure. Jack's done a good job filling in for him at the end, and he'll play well. But George is a different guy, right? So replacing that production's tough, and we may have to, generate some of that production from a call standpoint. Hopefully DeMarcus can play well, and Branson, and we can generate some from that standpoint. But it's been different not having George around for sure, and David, just fooling around with them every day. It's like, that's just you miss them, you miss them as people,
right?
Let alone what kind of player they are, but just kind of what they bring every day too.
Right. I don't think you guys blitz. You blitzed this season, but I don't think you blitzed a whole lot. Do you have to?
There were times where we just didn't have to,
right,
because you can generate with four when you're rushing four. So we might have to generate.
Do you have to create some ways, pressure,
Correct.
different ways in this game?
Correct. I think you might have to, bring a little more pressure and try to generate that and make this guy execute. But part of the problem is the pace of the game. And getting blitzes called and executing them and being in the right place and make sure we've got everybody covered, because that's kind of their deal is they get you out of position and make you pay the price.
Some of the issues Hendon Hooker poses for you, and is he like any quarterback you've seen this year?
Oh, he poses some problems. He's a big, strong guy. and he can run the ball. He's I think the problem with him is just he's big and physical. So getting him on the ground has been a point of emphasis for us, because you can get back there, but like he can run out of tackles because of his physicality. I'm trying to think off the top. I don't know that we faced another guy with his physicality, because he's a big, strong guy. Throws a really nice ball. He's from Greensboro, North Carolina, and went to Virginia Tech, so it kind of known him, coming through. And I think he's found the right offense. I think with Coach Heupel, he's found the right system, and have the ability to run the quarterback. And so probably similar to, if I was saying, he's a little older than the guy at Indiana that we got ready for. That ended up only playing one play in the game. But we had to get ready for him because he had played a bunch at Indiana. His name is leaving me. Yeah, McCauley. So a big physical guy like that, probably would be the biggest comparison of guys we watched on film that we had to. We ended up not having to play against McCauley. They didn't play him, but we had to prepare for him for sure.
One thing about this offense is it's gotten up at fast starts.
Yes.
Scored a ton of points in the first quarter.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure obviously you're aware of that, but.
That's because of the pace.
Okay.
Tom, and that's what they do. Like, it's kind of when I started, with you today, it's like it takes the guys a second to catch up to it. So it's like when you play Navy in the triple option, like no matter what you do out here on the practice field, it's hard to simulate it. So it kind of takes them a second to catch up. Thus, they catch people in the first quarter. I think the first 6 plays of the Kentucky game, there might have been 3 touchdowns. Like play 1 was an 80-yard touchdown. They just get the ball out on the perimeter, guys a little bit out of position, you miss a tackle, bang, they're in the end zone. And so that's the prep. Like that's the thing you've been beating home, beating them up with is how fast the game's going to start, and no matter how much cane I raise out here, no matter how much I tell you, it's going to be faster than what I'm telling you it is.
Right.
And so, I tell them, I'll have you a call. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get you a call. Like, it's a change for me as well, right? Like, the calls you got to spit them out. You don't have time to, you got to spit them out so the kids can get lined up and play.
How many guys are you prepared to play defensively because of the fast pace and trying to get more depth in there to keep your mind as fresh as possible?
You want to play a lot of guys, but the problem is they're not going to allow you to sub. So it's got to be by series. Right. So once you start the series with the group, you got to hang on to it. They'll sub some, and when they sub, we'll sub, obviously. But they'll put it out there and keep that group on the field and make you play. And so the trick is winning first or second down, getting them in a third down and getting off the field, because tempo offenses, you have to, tempo offenses, that they got to get first downs. I mean, that's what keeps them, that's what gets them in the 90 play range, is making those first downs, and then they pop you on a big play. So finding a way to get off the field is going to be a real trick for us.
Right. What have you seen out of Jack Sullivan?
Jack's just so consistent. He's so consistent on his daily work ethic. And I've been really proud of him this year because he's had to play both positions with our issues at Leo, with KJ being hurt some, in and out. So, but there's not a finer person in our program. There's that guy that you're just extremely proud of. He's got a great personality. Just can't say enough about him. And he's working extremely hard. And I mean, if you ever want it for a guy, you want it for this guy. You want great things to happen for him. And he's got another year left, so just really proud of him, the way he's worked, and hopefully he'll have some success. He works hard at his craft. He's probably not as gifted as George, but he works hard at it, and he'll give us all he's got. I know that.
Right. Just what stood out about what Jalen has done for you guys?
Jalen Graham?
No, Jalen Alexander.
Oh yeah.
Just not only for the linebacker group, but for the overall defense.
Well, he's a lot more productive than I thought he would be coming into the season. Of course, I didn't have spring ball with him because he had surgery, but he's really a highly productive guy, makes a lot of plays for us. Sometimes overthinks some things, but very intelligent football player, sees things, does some natural things like off of RPOs, getting his hands on balls, tipping some balls. I think back to the Minnesota game, I think it was, he tipped 2 or 3 in that game. There's a lot of instinctive things at linebacker, and he's got some, got some pretty good size to him. His athletic ability is good, so he's right up there with guys we've coached in the past. But he's had a really productive year. That's probably the biggest thing for me is how much production he's had, plays that he's made.
And when you look,
I think he's leading us in our production point category for the year. I think he's leading our whole defense. So.
I know coaches don't like to look ahead too much, but when you look at Yanni from a position standpoint, I think he's been playing outside.
He has. He's been playing where Jalen Graham's playing.
Okay, I mean, does that going into the spring? Do you think that?
I think he'll go inside.
Yeah,
I think he'll go inside. We may even look at him at the Leo position. He does a lot of instinctive things when we've had opportunities to. Work the young guys. Right. He does a lot of natural things. I think he'll be better fit inside, but he's got really good length, and that's what allows him to be kind of an edge guy. So we may even look at him some at Leo, have that boundary side in. So we'll see. We'll see how big he gets. That'll be the real trick is his weight's doing this, because he's finally healthy for an extended period. He's been healthy for 6 or 7 months now, so he's he's starting to do this weight-wise because he's a young kid, so we'll see how big he gets. But I think ultimately he'll probably end up an inside backer.